This episode is brought to you by our partners, Match Bingo. Match Bingo takes the excitement of live football and turns it into a bingo game. When your team scores a goal, instead of cheering, you get to tick it off on your bingo card. There's 15 match events from corners and free kicks to goals scored in certain minutes. Every moment can bring you closer to winning. Each team has 6 dots to mark off, plus 3 neutral, and the card updates as the match unfolds. It's a bit of fun added to the football. This week we're watching Everton and Aston Villa, and you can play along with us. Click the link or scan the QR code to join us and play Match Bingo. And here's a great offer. Use our promo card TTV and you get a 200% deposit bonus. So with a £5 deposit, you get another £10 to play with. But you must use the promo code TTV. It's for 18 plus only. Gamble responsibly and visit gambleaware.org. Get the app, create your account and join in for the next match. Enjoy the game and good luck with your Match Bingo cards.
Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview. Everton versus Aston Villa at HUEL Dickinson Stadium. Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. What a rarity. Our first ever one.
It is our first, another first.
First ever one
Getting all these firsts
in the Premier League. Yeah, one of the most historical fixtures in English football. We know that. And obviously more historical because it's at the new stadium.
Yeah, brilliant. It's a great fixture, isn't it? Everton Aston Villa. It's one that you think of. Two very similar size clubs. Big clubs, big historical football clubs. Well supported. Haven't been anywhere near the top end of winning honours like we should have been over the years. Villa have been excellent for the last couple of years and have got themselves obviously up in the Champions League places and stuff, but both clubs should have won more given the history and the fan base over the years, and we haven't. But always got loads of respect for Villa. They're a good side, good club. Yeah, strange start to the season for Villa. Have you been surprised? Obviously they haven't scored a goal yet in the Premier League, which is it's just a real stat. It's not. You can't hide from it. It's a real thing. I wanted to hide from it.
No, you can't. They haven't scored. They've obviously lost the last couple of games.
Doing us like that
because these are real facts. It's the real world. You're gonna have to deal with this. These shouldn't be hurting you in the new Everton world.
True. Yeah, listen, I've been a little bit surprised by them. I watched a bit of the game on day one against Newcastle, and it was all going all right until he got a man sent off, and then he had to hang in there for a point. And then I funnily enough, watched a bit of the game at Brentford. I couldn't believe he lost that one. And then again, following the theme, I watched a little bit of them against Palace, and he was dreadful. Got beat 3-0. But they just haven't clicked, that's all. We know they're a good side. Ollie Watkins, brilliant striker. They've had Onana out, they've had Kamara out. Barkley, obviously ex-Everton player, hasn't been available, just to give them that little bit extra as well. But they have brought in, obviously, Jadon Sancho, Lindelof and Harvey Elliott as well on deadline day 3 coming. I think they've been a little bit hamstrung by PSR, and we've known all about that, haven't we? So they haven't maybe kicked on as much as you might have thought, but they're a good side, and this is just a blip. Just starting the season poorly, and it happens sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you've mentioned there the signings that they brought in deadline day, and obviously that has been the PSR issue again. I mean, you know, we've obviously had our end of it, and when you see the Chelsea stuff that has come out this week, and it is crazy how clubs are having to not being able to push forward, not being able to move forward in the market because they've tried to be ambitious, they tried to move themselves forward, they've tried to jump in there, and obviously Villa missed out on the last day of the season at Man United to the Champions League, and then they have to sell one of their youngsters. So another team that's competing in the same sort of space. It just feels so strange. But they have brought, you mentioned, they brought Sancho in on loan, they brought Harvey Elliott in, and who, you know, both of them have, I mean, obviously Sancho has struggled to find any kind of form since coming from Dortmund, and Harvey Elliott has just not been quite good enough at Liverpool because it's been such a good Liverpool team. But obviously he is a good player, and he'll hope to kick on at Villa.
Yeah, he is a good. I hope he doesn't kick on this weekend, but he is a good player. He's got a lovely left foot. Probably just a yard too slow for what Liverpool's needs were at that top end, which is probably knocked them out the pecking order sometimes. Just that little bit of pace needed, but he's a very good player. Trophies he's won already. He's only, 22 or something. He's won a lot of trophies, made a lot of appearances in a period when Liverpool have been outstanding. So he is a very, very good footballer at that left foot. He was good at the Euros in the summer, wasn't he? Yeah, good signing. I know he was linked with Everton, wasn't he? But I don't think that was ever. I don't think that transfer was ever going to be allowed to happen. But he's a good footballer. Sancho, weird, brilliant at Dortmund. Come to United. United seems like a basket case at the moment, doesn't it? All sorts going on there. Didn't fit in. Went to Chelsea. Chelsea paid United money to take him back, so they didn't have to have him. But in between that, he'd been back to Dortmund and done really well and got to a Champions League final. And it looked like he should have just signed for Dortmund because it seems like he's at his best there. So Villa they've got a player who, if they could get him up to sort of his Dortmund form, would be a real asset for them. But right now, and his 2 spells in England have been fits and starts. He hasn't really been able to get going. But I'm sure, Emery's a brilliant manager. I'm sure if anyone can get him playing over the next few months, it'll probably be Unai Emery.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the Villa team from their defeat to Crystal Palace.
Yeah. So, I mean, McGinn linked heavily with Everton, of course, over the summer. If you believe all the reports, Everton had a bid turned down for him. But he's a good player. Tielemans is excellent, isn't he? We know that. Really good footballer. Evan Gesand he brought in over the summer, and I really like him. I think he's someone who can play through the middle, but he's comfortable running with the ball, and Villa have used him off the side against Palace. He was a little bit hit and miss. Daniel Marlin is really quick. He's another one. He was at Dortmund, wasn't he? Really fast. Morgan Rogers, I think, brilliant. So the front four, regardless of, the defence has been a little bit shaky. There's Matty Cash came off for Poland at half-time. He scored, actually, but came off injured at half-time last week. Don't know whether he's going to be available or not out of that side. But then front four, you look at them and you think, all good players. And then obviously they've got people like Emi Buendia on the bench. He's a good player.
How much do you think the goalkeeping situations had been an issue? Because that to me is just been the strangest thing. I don't quite understand what's happened at City, and I don't understand what's happened at Villa. It's like they had both of them had goalkeepers that seemed to be from the outside very, very good. And for some reason, the managers have torn it all up, and Martinez basically said his goodbyes to the Villa fans.
Well, there's rumours he's going to be back in goal against Everton. So I don't know whether that's real or it isn't real, but that was what I'd seen someone suggest they should put him back in goal. Yeah, I don't know whether Unai Emery will do that. But it is odd.
It's odd. I find the whole situation
because I know he was a little bit hit and miss last season for Villa, but up until then he's been a really good buy for them. I know a year ago a few of the top clubs were looking at him, and it seemed, I thought he might have gone a year ago, and he didn't. He stayed, and then this summer was almost like it was all done.
Do you think maybe, and again I'm just talking top of my head here, do you think maybe there was talk of Saudi? So do you think maybe Villa might have looked at him and thought, if we can get him out this football club, that could sort a lot of our PSR problems? Because obviously they got rid of Duran last January, didn't they now? And obviously that money was incredibly helpful for them. I'm not sure, I don't know whether they would have done it otherwise, because obviously his goal scoring was brilliant, certainly coming off the bench. Do you think maybe as a goalkeeper they thought, right, this, where he is right now, maybe he's just gone past his best, and we could make an incredible amount of money? Maybe they've tried to force him out and then no one's come in for him.
It's hard to say, isn't it? something like that makes a lot of sense if that's what's happened. That they're giving us, I think, what is he, 33, 34? It's been really good. And if Saudi, or if they thought there was money on the table from Saudi, that was good enough for them to maybe do a few other things in the market, then getting a goalkeeper out at that age who maybe is just gone over what they regard as his best. And Emery's brilliant at that as well, assessing that kind of thing. Maybe that was, but there was talks of Manchester United, wasn't there? And I think if I was Amorim, I probably would have, wanted my club to do that, because United haven't got a goalie if you glue them all together after at the moment. They're all over the place. But where Martinez is a good keeper, but I don't know. I think if you're playing those PSR games where you're having to juggle and balance things, then sometimes maybe a goalkeeper's it's sort of the easiest one to lose if you're getting a big pot of money for him.
The one thing I would say, I mean, obviously it was Marco Bizot who played. He's a 34-year-old, like, bit of a journeyman before he went to Villa. It's like there's no real... They haven't bought another...
No, they haven't got like a younger...
They haven't brought someone in to push him like the way City... Some goalkeepers, they went and got Trafford, and that was the thing. Whatever you think about Trafford, and obviously now they've brought in Donnarumma because they've got... So well done, James Trafford. Thanks for participating.
Yeah, the couple of games. Yeah.
You won Save of the Month, and that's you. But yeah,
Aaron Ramsdale made a career of that. You know about?
But yeah, I mean, obviously Villa. If there's any Villa fans watching, they'll be able to tell us a lot more.
Exactly, because
obviously there's a lot that goes on in your club that we won't know about. The same as us. But I just find that whole situation, because
would it surprise you if he's just back in as the number one?
Oh, I fully expect them to play in this game. Now the window's shut.
What about the rest of the season?
Yeah. Now that the window's shut. Now the window's shut, I fully expect them to be back in goal.
It's just unnecessary. Feels unnecessary.
No, it feels unnecessary this game. You'd like to think they'd welcome them back at home.
Yeah.
So they could,
full, like, forgiveness
and appreciate them.
Yeah, I think so.
He said goodbye to the fans. He'll say hello to the fans.
Yeah, no point playing in
No point coming to us.
No.
You can't do that at the Hill Dickinson Stadium.
No, there's no point.
No.
There's no point. Sit on the bench, clap the fans as warming up, and then, next home game, bang, back in.
Although he would be the first competitive Argentinian player to play at Hill Dickinson, maybe, probably. I don't know. Don't know what the real stats. International, sorry. International.
Okay.
Anyway. No, that wasn't a competitive fair.
Oh, okay. Couldn't say they definitely had a couple of Argentinian players. Yeah, we do find it odd. So, yeah, like Pez just said, any Villa fans, give us a bit of clarification on it, because from the outside it seems really weird. Really weird. It seemed really weird he was saying his goodbyes at the end of the season.
See ya.
Seems a bit crying, wasn't he, in one of the games? It just seemed mad. Seems mad.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at a player that we believe is one of Villa's best players, Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, we've got his stats, because obviously this season, as you rightly pointed out, they haven't scored yet, but these are Ollie Watkins' stats from last year. Once again, absolutely outstanding. He played in every Premier League game for Villa last season. Started 31 of them. Scored 16 goals from an XG of 15.64, which is basically takes his chances really well. It's brilliant. Got 8 assists. His teammates helped him out here from an XA of 2.07. You can see his heat map there. And then we've got the other stats off, which is 2 penalties there, but he averaging 2.2 shots per game last season. He had 84 shots. Shots on target 40. We've got the shot map up from where he had most of his shots there, and he had a goal conversion rate of 19% overall. But I really like Ollie Watkins. I think he's been fantastic for Villa. Again, another one who might have left the football. See, it's the one thing I look at Villa, and I am.
It's 1 in 1 out, isn't it?
I'm curious about them. It's like they seem to have got a lot of things right. And then all of a sudden, we're being told if Arsenal would have bid 3 more million, they'd have got Watkins in January.
Well, obviously,
then Giram went.
Morgan Rogers coming in, sort of. I don't think Ollie Watkins has been quite the same player since Morgan Rogers was given, sort of, put more emphasis on him.
But he's still, look at
no, I know. I just
16
think
goals.
No, I know. I just don't think he's been. I just think that's the point. It's like there's a thing of Villa, and I think it is purely down to PSR, where it's like once somebody is like there, it's like, well, we can sell him then, and it just seems to be, instead of going, no, we got both, and it leaves people almost in this, it's not limbo, but just in this area of like, what's my future at this football club? Have I got a future at this football club? And don't get me wrong, they've done really well in, like, I thought the players they brought in on loan last January really pushed them on, helped them in, like, you know,
they should have got in the Champions League. Asensio was really good for them. Marcus Rashford did really well. Even the Sassy did all right for them, and it got them. That last game of the season, I couldn't see anything other than Villa winning at Old Trafford. I couldn't, and I thought they're in the top four.
They were robbed as well.
And they were robbed. They were robbed.
But it just feels a little bit. It feels like it's almost like, well, yeah, you're the next one to go, and instead of like building something. And I don't know whether that's because everyone's on massive contracts or there just isn't enough money. I know this week they've had the approval for one of the stands to be redeveloped, so that'll push the capacity up. And I know their end game is like 55,000 stadium. There's loads of room around, and you know, obviously, as I said before, they're similar to us.
You're hemmed in, aren't you? There's only so much you can do, isn't it?
Yeah. So let's have a look at the Everton team that beat Wolves.
That's right. What a win in the Midlands, of course. What a win.
Are we expecting any changes? Of course, we know Mikalenko.
I think
has had an issue. Had an issue.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I expect the same team.
Yeah. And obviously, in Jai, the manager said he took a knock, so there is a doubt there.
I'm putting my neck on the line. I'm saying it's the same team. I don't see any. If the Mikalenko, I think we've said all week, haven't we? We expected them to play in this, and I don't think anything David Moyes has said today hasn't changed my mind. And Illiman and Jai seemed all right when he was boogieing in the dressing room.
It's always the next day.
Yeah,
you know, I was all right when I was playing paddle, but I felt a little bit stiff the next day.
No, I think I look at it and think, I think Njai will play as well. I think it'll be the same lineup. Everton obviously have got the likes of Dibbling on, you know, in case Njai isn't right. Merlin Rolls being added to the Everton squad, of course, since our last game. David Moyes has been sort of quite complimentary about more than I thought he would. A little bit surprised by his comments, which to me means that he's done really well in training. They're really impressed with him, so that's good. Yeah, and obviously we've got options then, you know, and the one that was sort of the toss up between two was Beto or Barry, and Beto got the nod against Wolves and he scored, and I imagine he'll continue in that vein up front. So I think it more or less Everton will be the same 11 that started at Mullingar.
Well, I mean, obviously Everton have got the options on the bench now. You just mentioned there, Merlin Rill comes in. He can come in as new. I imagine will go on the bench as well, replacing those who will replace Harrison Armstrong's obviously gone to Preston. Tyrone Yango's gone to Stockport. And that gives us a potential bench of Tim Irabunum, Thierry Barry, Carlos Alcaraz, Seamus Coleman, Mark Travers, Dwight McNeil, Tyler Diblin, Merlin Rill, and Adam Asnew, which has got decent, and that's without Patterson, who the manager said is not ready, and obviously Branthwaite will be back, you know, within the month, hopefully. So
that's a
much stronger bench than we've had for a very long time.
That's for years, mate.
Dwight McNeil's gone from being a starter to maybe back of the queue
to get on the pitch
in the space of 8 months. You know, and I know it doesn't quite work like that, but you know what I mean.
That's
indispensable first choice starting player to, and that's how.
But that's sort of how it's been with David Moyes when he come in. No, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was the number 9 starter, and an injury meant Beto got in and took his chance, so much so that Dom left the core. He was in every single game, and Everton didn't want to bend to what his wage demands were, and he moved on, and David Moyes didn't really seem to bat an eyelid about it, and he's done that with players. And you know, even in the press conference he was asked about the form of Michael Keane, and Michael Keane's been in good form, but he didn't sort of mince his words. We need Jarrod Branthwaite back. Well, okay. So, you know, that suggests when Branthwaite's fit, he's back in the team. So, you've got to, at the moment, you've got to play well to get on the Everton side. But the level has gone up. And that's good, and that's where we're hoping to build and move forward, and that's obviously what Aston Villa have been doing for a few years. And we've got to do that, and we've got to be able to look at that, enjoy being doubtful or having a knock, but have most people, I think people will still be looking at the team, but if he isn't playing, we've got a £40 million winger who didn't even get off the bench last time out to come in, and that's sort of the biggest indicator, I think, of there's been an improvement in the squad strength, definitely.
Yeah, and there's a lot of young lads in there as well. That's another thing, isn't it? There are a lot of young lads who are at that stage where coming off the bench and then pushing forward is a real bonus.
Well, look at Everton and Villa shook hands on a deal, didn't he, for him and Dobbin? And Irabunum, I think, is a really good player. I think a lot of Villa fans didn't really want to see him go, and I think he's got loads of plus points, Tim. He's not really been able to nail it down at us, but he's shown in patches that if he can build and keep building, he could easily get an Everton side. So it's good to have him as someone to come off the bench as well. So we get more of those kind of players, and then younger lads really battling and scrapping to try and get in the team. We're going to be in a much better place.
Listen, it's going to be a tough game. I've seen some weird stuff of like Villa are a good side. They just had a bad start, so it's going to be very, very tough game. And obviously, they've had a couple of weeks to lick their wounds, new players in, and it's going to be a very tough. We haven't beat these since they come back into the Premier League.
It's crazy.
Been our bogey team. It's been our bogey team. So let's put that right. Let's get another victory at Hill Dickinson Stadium and go into that Merseyside derby all.
But this is it. Listen, Villa, like you just said, Villa will catch fire, but right now they haven't. So take advantage. Might be a good time to play them before they do click into form. And we've got a great opportunity to keep that field goal factor going, get another 3 points, and like you say, bounce into Anfield next week with a little bit of Jack Swagger in our step.
Nice, Jack Swagger.
Second Jack Swagger reference in a
this week. Yeah, let's bring it back.
Yeah,
let's bring it back, Jack.
Like
Jack
Maloko.
Swagger. They sung it back.
They did, to be fair.
There you go, on that remarkable note. There you go. Make sure to check out the Starting 11 show. And if you want that offer from Match Bingo, the link is in the description. QR code is literally on the screen as well. It's on the screen. You can, like that, just do it.
If you want it.
If you want to take part.
Good to see you.
And thanks for watching. Make sure to catch all the wonderful content after the game as well, where we'll be all dead happy. See you later. Bye.